Ho ho ho! Welcome to the video, guys. Welcome back, and I hope you're having a good Christmas time so far. It's pretty close already, and I hope you're gonna enjoy the following video. So, what I basically do in my YouTube videos, they're not the most organized ones, I know that, guys. But I talk about ideas which just are running through my mind, and I think which would have helped myself when I started the game, especially in draft, because the draft is pretty complex and you can mess up A, very quickly, and B, you get punished pretty hard, and it doesn't feel exactly good when you get smashed by other decks then. So what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about color distribution, because that's something I get asked quite frequently in my chat. So how many cards can you put on a hero? Are there certain colors where you can include more cards per hero maybe? And afterwards you want to go also do a draft and have that in the eyes. So here we are. I just briefly go to the collection here. So just as a quick overview, I think red heroes are a little bit more resilient. Well, if you take a look of these health stats, you get the idea, right? So I for myself say, for a red hero, I can include more cards. Let's say if I splash a red hero in. That's why I also very much like to splash red in. Just if I have like, let's say 7 to 8 red cards, I can easily splash the hero in because it's just much more likely to live, right? So what you want to keep an eye on is how resilient is the hero and how likely is it that I can also get the cards of that color down if I splash it. That's why I tend to often, if I play blue, that's actually a very, very interesting thing, because I see it very frequently in draft when I play against opponents, and I always gank down the blue hero if they just splash in blue. If you play blue, guys, yeah, you have this Crystal Man where you don't play. The Earthshaker is quite a decent draft hero, so is the Skyraft, but they have very little health stats, like up to half the health stats, yeah, of red heroes. And not only that, they also want to be played late, yeah. So guys, at least 2 blue heroes if you play blue. Splashing in blue is almost never right. I would just say it's never right. Yeah? I even tend to play 3 blue heroes. First of all, blue is a late game color. Second of all, the blue heroes are very easy to gank off. And third of all, well, they also have draw mechanics in blue. It just gives you more versatility with the cards as well. Please, guys, don't splash in a single blue hero. Okay, so here we come to the, let's say, second squishiest class, which is black. It is very much possible to include black as a single splash if you get like a Phantom Assassin, or you just get a very strong Bounty Hunter, or maybe a Tinker is just for the sake of splashing it in for the strong March of the Machines. So I tend to always play 2 black heroes because they are very weak on the breast. So it's also a color which I don't like to splash in, but if you tend to have stronger black cards, you can do that. But also keep in mind they are, yeah, like especially a Debbie with 5 health, it's also on the lower end, right? At least she gets a gank as well. So I cannot always give you exact numbers on how many cards per color or per hero, but I just want to give you guys a basic idea what you have to have an eye mark on, yeah. And a color I also like to splash in very likely is, or I like to splash in very much, is green, because the green heroes, they tend to have 7 health and above, or 8 health and above. Even a base hero, Farvan, has 410. So I just like green a splash color very much because these heroes have a lot of health. Lycan, Farvan, Omni Knight if you get him, or a Treant. So they are likely to live and you can just play your cards down. But I'm also getting you guys hang up on this. Yeah, okay, you got the idea probably. These heroes are more likely to live, so you can include more cards per color, or it's better to splash them in. So I don't want to talk too much around it. Let's just jump and build a draft deck. And maybe keep these things in mind, huh? So first of all, maybe you just see some general picks. If you have questions about these, just leave it in the comment below, guys. Really, I highly encourage you to do that. So I don't want to go too specific into these picks, but I want to specifically talk about color distribution once we get heroes and such. So the Bloodseeker, you never pick him. Maybe you also get some stuff which you have not seen in the last videos, maybe you have not watched the other videos, so maybe you get a better idea of that here. So in the beginning, you just want to pick the strongest cards. From Musk and Unearthed Secrets are the strongest cards here. If you have questions about card tiers whatsoever, there's another YouTube video where I'm talking about a tier list, and I also left a link to the tier list in the description there. So you just pick the strongest cards there, and I also very much like picking green. Strongest cards are here the Oglodi Vandal, and the rest is pretty much... Foresight is a decent blue card, but I tend to stay away from mediocre blue cards at the beginning of a draft. But to say here, there are more good blue cards at the moment. Reason for that is because, well, some popular streamers, speaking as life coach and me, we tend to just say don't pick blue, so you of course have better blue cards in the pool. Yeah? I would pick the Rebel here just as filler card eventually. What I like to do is leave the good cards up here, so I have down there, I have a very good overview of my color distribution. So here the strongest cards are probably the artillery and the shot. I tend to put them immediately into the filler slot though. You can pick here the Cunning Plan. It's one of the best blue cards just to have it in your pool, and it's also a card I leave up there. And here you just pick these as fillers. They are really not to speak about. And we get a random hero, which is the Winter Wyvern, which is better than the base hero. But keep in mind it's a late game hero, so if you want to play the Winter Wyvern, you want to make sure that you actually have an early game already. So what do we get here? I always like, guys, and I encourage you to do that, just to exclude all heroes. So you know up here or down there the real card amount you have per color. You need 25 cards at the end, playable cards. Yeah? So I also highly encourage you guys to go for dual color if you can. It's much stronger because you can play down your cards in a more flexible way. So here we get an Annihilation. That is okay. Definitely okay. The question we have to ask ourselves, do we have other good cards first? I mean, we have the Ogre, which is one of the better blue heroes, and we get an Annihilation. So what can we say here? Second pack, we are not too much in any color yet. This would be a pick a lot of players would do. Do I like that? It's okay to do as a pick. And we will also get, because the Ogre Magi is one of the stronger blue heroes, and the Annihilation is a very, very strong card, and we already have a Cunning Plan, and the Remote Detonation is also playable. It's definitely alright to do. Just what we need to keep in mind here is we will need good early game heroes if you want to play black-blue. We can probably also splash in green. And what we're also seeing here that we probably won't play red if we pick it like that. The only question we can ask ourselves is the Cunning Plan. And yeah, already enough to go into blue. I mean, we have a detonation there, which is alright. Ogre is pretty solid. I would say top 3 blue heroes, the best one being Luna. So yeah, I think you can pick him here, especially if you get offered an elation alongside with him. I know Life Coach would roast me here. So what do we pick here? Arcane Assault is a decent blue filler card. And if we want to play red whatsoever, if we get really good red cards, we can pick the Burning Oil there. Also keep in mind, oh yeah, we have to exclude the Ogre here, so we see what we have in color-wise. You can see your heroes there, so if you have another system for yourself, just make it just sort yourself your cards together. That's very important. So for the Burning Oil, I would like what I basically do. I keep my top tier cards up here, so I see how good my cards are per color. Arcane Assault as filler and Martyr as filler. I like to not have it in the main pool though. Here we have the Assassin's Veil, that's a playable item, and the Hellbear Crippler as eventual filler. Better Late Than Never as filler, and Iron Branch Protection as filler. So, what can we tell here? We are already in the 3rd pack, guys, and what I want to talk with you about is the first picks here. So we are already kind of in blue, and I know it doesn't look like that because of the card distribution now, but I know what I have on my side bench here. This is for me just like it lets me evaluate the raw power level of a deck better. So first of all, these are for me the top tier cards. So what are the top tier cards here? We have Ramask Blessing, which is really good, especially if you are buffing up blue heroes, and we have a Thunderstorm, which is a really strong card to play blue, yeah. I would tend to just pick these two, just because they are the strongest power level wise, and we are already kind of committed in these colors. So can pick these two. Another option is picking a Stonehole, but I don't know if I in red yet, and I definitely rate Compel lower than Thunderstorm. So yeah, this is what I would go with. They're also both top tier. Here we get another really good black hero, Bounty Hunter. First of all, it's an early game hero. That's exactly what we are searching for. And second of all, we already have a black hero. So these two things fit in. We also get offered a strong card with the pick-off alongside with him. So very nice, very nice. And here, these cards are all kind of meh. Mercenary Exile is an excellent red card, but it's not insane. And I would also probably pick the Intimidation here as filler, or as a good filler. Intimidation is definitely one of the better fillers. So take the hero out again. What are the good cards we have so far? Maybe you always want to take a look at these cards below here, just so you didn't forget anything. Here it's pretty easy, you just pick the Foresight, and yeah, you can pick an item if you maybe see that item would be super clutch in your deck later on. But usually that's not the case. The Barbed Mail. So let's continue here, my friends. I see an Emissary. Very sweet, very sweet. So it seems like we can definitely exclude red from here on, because we didn't have any red cards. So I just also put the red cards in. So I see 3 colors here. That's very nice. And the Emissary is a very high tier green card, plus we are already having some green bomb cards. That's very sweet. Keep in mind, guys, to already have your curve also sort of in the back of your head, or what your heroes do. Therefore, I know with this system you don't see it immediately, but you can always just scroll down. I mean, I see the heroes for myself, and as I played the game so much, I know that Wyvern brings a late game card, and Ogre and Bounty bring an early game card. So Curve is another thing we're gonna talk about in another video, but just keep it in the back of your head. So Emissary is a super top tier green card. You pick that, especially if you're already in green. And now we can talk about the friendly fire. And the only thing we would have in mind, do we have too many 6 drops for that? But friendly fire is such a high tier blue card, and I really mean really high tier. So, oh, the Whispers of Madness, that's probably not what we want to have. So I will pick Emissary and friendly fire here. Very good. So what do we have here? We will just stay away from red from now on. And Compel is a really strong blue card because it cycles and can let you save your heroes. And Satyr is a top tier green card. Cunning Plan, insane. Rookery can be played, especially with the bounty hunters. If you have tracks down, a card you can put in there. Red Mist Maul also a card, but I don't like the Red Mist Maul so much if you splash in blue, so this is how I would take it. Reftil Signet Ring, excellent. And this we could play as a filler. Here the last picks are usually fairly easy to do. We get a random hero there. Bloodseeker definitely gets never played, that's what I can tell you. So remove that. And I also see we have a lot of blue cards. We're blue WD. Let's see. So let's have a look at this here. We get offered more blue stuff. At any cost is a really good blue card. There can be some argumentations that it gets weaker if you already have a removal, but I really rate removal high, in draft especially. So we at the moment we have an Annihilation, a Thunderstorm, and the at any cost is just really strong because it gives you a lot of like early game momentum, and if you go into late game with blue, you're usually fine. I would also pick another Cunning Plan because I'm a big fan of that card. It's just really strong. So here we get offered a Gold Mine. That's an excellent black card, and since we already have Bounty Hunter and Winter Wyvern, we maybe want to play that. As it looks at the moment, just want to remind you, we probably play double blue, double black, 1 green. But we have a better look at that later on, because this is only filling up your card pool, and if you watch the tier list videos, you should have a basic idea of how your card pool should look like. You definitely pick the ring here as well, because the other cards are mediocre. And here we get insane blue cards. That is the best blue card. Dimension Portal is really good. And now, I mean, I don't like Lost in Time here because we are already very much invested in the 6th slot, and we already have good late game as well. I would just go for another Cunning Plan. Sanctum is also playable, but I think Cunning Plan is, in my tier list at least, rated higher. So, you get a Payday that works well together with the Bounty Hunter. We don't need Necrophos because we will never play a 3rd black hero, that is. So we can play the Payday and the Pursuit because we don't have any blink effects yet. So we get another Cunning Plan, it's great, and you can play Better Late as filler card. We get a Crystal Main, which is unplayable. So we got 2 Randy heroes, as I see that here. That is all rightish. So let's sort our stuff together. I usually just take a brief look over my deck and see if I forgot to exclude any cards. And the Keenfolk usually don't play. And this is what we have at the moment. That's 22 cards, so we have 3 cards missing from having a playable pool. So I would like, I mean, when I build these kind of decks, I usually have an idea what my splash color is. And the most obvious color for me here is just green, because I have these cards, which I will always play. And this is just, yeah. You have 5 cards, which Favan brings with him, but these are all very high tier cards. So the thing which you can evaluate for you basically, Would you splashing a single green hero just to play these cards? And yes, these cards are all so strong that I would do so. They are all very good, besides the Satyr, but... And also don't forget, Favan is a hero you can deploy early on, which helps your hero distribution also very much because you're playing blue. You need early heroes if you play blue, that's what I'm saying. So let's next jump into the, let's say, second obvious color. It is probably black, so you definitely play the Bounty Hunter. That should be a no-brainer. And we have these black cards, which are all kind of alright. Keep in mind, if you play Payday, it's very advisable to play 2 black heroes, because you just have an easier way of doubling up your gold. So this would be the black tree. So we would play 5 black cards. You could even play this just as splash. Yeah. So because we have a very minor amount of black. And now we let's just include some, like the Ogre Major you can play early on as blue. And you never play Crystal Maiden because Jumui is just better in general. So the question is, we have to ask ourselves, would we ever play triple blue with our deck, that is, or with the amount of blue cards we have? And yes, we would pretty much do so, probably. So if you exclude all blue heroes, we have 12 blue cards, and also very expensive blue cards. So I also keep in mind here, I have an Annihilation and at any cost, which need flexibility, and with that I mean lane flexibility. Yeah? So if I have one blue hero in every lane, I have a better at any cost in average, or a better Annihilation. Yeah? So Jumui doesn't come early, we can play it probably like this. Would have 37 cards then. So, and the next thing we can look at, did we miss out any good black cards? I don't think. I think you can play one Payday with a single splash black hero. It's alright. Relentless Pursuit you can't play if you only play one black hero. That's quite obvious. And now we can also keep in mind, you get probably the tracks down with the blue removal here. So that's a very nice thing to have in mind. And the green, I don't see anything I want to run more. We can run an Intimidation. If we want that, because we have so many blue cards. So what would be the rule of thumb? How many blue cards can you run if you have 3 blue heroes? A lot. So if you have any good blue cards you would like to run, we should also include them. Detonation is an alright card. It's not that great though, because our 6 slot is a little bit full, no, not overfilled. But it definitely gets better if you play triple blue. Arcane Assaults are alright, because actually initiative is something we could need. That being said, we got a little bit of an odd draft here, so it's a little bit harder. Yeah, the item deck here is quite obvious. You have 3 items which have health already, so you can just fill it out with Short Swords and Traveler's Cloak. So I want to always have in mind, also with my deck, what is the finisher of this deck. Yeah? So here you can see what cards we have over. Usually I like to have, if I splash in a single black hero, around 8 cards in total in black, then maybe 9. And if you have green, it's between 10 and 11. So I like to play 1 Intimidation at least, because the card is alright. And we could also play a Wool, but it's really not that good. Iron Branch can be played if you want to protect some heroes, but it's just, for me, a very low tier card. And here I could see us playing a Grazing Shot, because we don't have the most chip damage yet. And together with Ignite you can get some sweet upkeep kills, so at least we make the use of the Bounty Hunter somewhat. You could also argue that we could play a Winter Wyvern here, if we want to do so. And therefore we would have to reduce the amount of blue cards, which I don't like because we have so many blue cards. And I definitely want to play 3 blue heroes here. And now we can just include the fillers. I like the Arcane Assault because actually initiative is worth a lot in our deck. And probably also another one. Looks alright, the deck, I would say. So this is our deck. And I hope, guys, I could give you guys some insight about the color distribution. I'm gonna leave you, of course, at the end, because I'm gonna play this deck on screen, the score under or below the video. And if you have any questions whatsoever, or maybe I left out some stuff, because I know this is not very organized or not super organized, I just want to give you a brief insight here. You can always just say, hey JJ, you can do this and that. I'm open-minded because this YouTube section is very new for me, but I'm trying to keep my consistency up, and I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. As always, I don't know if you guys watched it to the end, but I hope you maybe did if you reached this point. So leave a subscription if you liked the video, and have a nice day. I'm out, guys. See you next time.